Hello, my name is Wyatt Morgan and I will be discussing the Kansas City Chiefs 2023-2024 season National Football League Players Association Club Report Cards and how elements of organizational commitment can be found in the assessment written up and released based on players' responses to a survey produced by the National Football League Players Association and Artemis Strategy Group. Throughout this presentation, I will focus on one specific article released by the National Football League Players Association, or NFLPA, which gives a report card that summarizes the grades given to the Kansas City Chiefs organization by its players. What is the National Football League Players Union, one might ask? Well, according to the homepage on the website, the NFLPA is the union that was founded in 1956, tasked with representing the players of the National Football League, and they are dedicated to the success and well-being of all players on and off the field. The NFLPA functions as an enforcer for agreements reached between players and the owners, as well as a negotiator and moderator for retirement and insurance benefits. The most significant success the NFLPA has had came in 2011 when they negotiated a collective bargaining agreement meant to increase profitable gains, job security, and health and safety for players. Most recently, they negotiated a new collective bargaining agreement that runs through 2030. This one focuses on an increase of share revenue, expanded roster size, significant increase in minimum salaries, more health and safety advances, as well as other new generational technologies. What is the point of the survey? Concluding the 2022-2023 NFL season, the NFLPA released a survey to its players to assess how well each organization took care of their players throughout the season. This was the first time the NFLPA took such an initiative and found that the results were different than some may have expected. After the dust had settled, the NFLPA felt that the survey and the data collected from it was useful. The public, viewing how well their favorite teams cared for the players, also held owners accountable and pushed many clubs to make immediate improvements based on the publication. Concluding the 2023-2024 season, the NFLPA released their second annual club report cards after fine-tuning their survey with the help of Artemis Strategy Group. In this survey focused on 11 topics: treatment of family, food and cafeteria, nutritionist and dietitian, locker room, training staff, weight room, strength coaches, team travel, head coach, and ownership. These 11 topics were each individually graded from A+ being 97 to 100 to an F- being below 50%. And they were not graded based on comparisons to other organization reports. The specific article that I'll be looking at today is that of the Kansas City Chiefs, the reigning two-time Super Bowl champions that have also just secured a dynasty which they aim to expand. At times, it almost feels as if anyone in or out of the sports world knows of the Kansas City Chiefs and the future Hall of Fame quarterback that leads them, Patrick Mahomes. If people have not heard of the Kansas City Chiefs for their football accolades, there is high probability that they have been exposed to Taylor Swift joining the Red Kingdom with her boyfriend, who happens to be the tight end Travis Kelce. The Chiefs are led by longtime head coach Andy Reid, who has brought championships to Kansas City with his offensive playbook. Ownership of the Kansas City Chiefs has been inherited by the Hunt family from Lamar Hunt, an American and National Football League legend, and is now ran by Clark Hunt. Clark Hunt is also a billionaire who has expanded his massive wealth that he inherited by becoming a founding investor and owner in Major League Soccer. What I guess I'm trying to make a point on is that the Kansas City Chiefs have been at the corner of professional football for a long time, and the ownership has been passed from one generation to the next, so there's ample experience and high expectations for players and ownership. This is a team that other NFL teams try emulating and study to see what needs to be done to improve their performance of their organization. Upon reading the report card given to the Kansas City Chiefs, I found that they were ranked second to last among the 32 NFL teams who were surveyed. Despite the massive amount of success and fame that had come about the Chiefs in recent years, the Kansas City Chiefs' treatment of their players, the money makers, is well below par compared to the rest of the NFL. The article highlights that there are two main reasons that the Chief players are unhappy and feel that ownership has cheated them. The first being quality of care, which is centered around the training room, and the second being out-of-date facilities. This article reveals that the players feel that the quality of care is not up to the necessary standard because the training room is significantly understaffed. According to the NFLPA report, only 43% of the team report that they get an adequate amount of one-on-one treatment. It has also been reported that that staff are unwilling to provide preventative treatment, which is commonly offered across the NFL. Multiple players have also reported that they feel going to an outside source of treatment and training would be more beneficial than using the team's current program and trainers. The second issue revolves around the out-of-date facilities that players use and an extremely old locker room that has not been renovated and seems to be players' main concern. Reportedly, in 2022 and 2023, the locker room failed to have chairs for players to sit in. Following the 2022 and 2023 Super Bowl, ownership promised to renovate the locker room for the upcoming 2023 and 2024 season after they received several direct complaints from players and after the NFLPA released the survey report cards which listed the locker rooms as an issue. When the team came back from the offseason, they found that the locker room and the facilities were not renovated. Instead, some hardback chairs had been placed in the locker room. Another note from the article that is important to mention is that the owner, Clark Hunt, has received an F- this year, ranking as the worst score in the NFL. This means that Clark Hunt is the least willing owner to invest in his team facilities among all NFL owners and ownership groups. This is leading to more frustration among players in their responses to the NFLPA survey. Finally, one positive that the Chiefs can take away from the NFLPA survey is that their head coach, Andy Reid, received an A+ and was the highest rated head coach from any organization. 95% of players feel that he is efficient with their time, but most of all, Andy is very willing to listen to the locker room according to the NFLPA. After reading the article and doing some more research on what the NFLPA is and has to offer for players in the National Football League, I found that this survey connects closely with the organizational commitment as well as the elements and factors that contribute to an employee or player's commitment. In Chapter 3 of the textbook, organizational commitment is an individual outcome discussed in this class that is defined as a desire on the part of an employee to remain a member of the organization. It often dictates whether an employee stays with the company or leaves to find another job. There are 3 different types of organizational commitment that play a factor in the organizational commitment of employees: effective commitment, continuous commitment, and normative commitment. Due to the out-of-date facilities and under-renovated locker rooms, as well as the lack of effort and attention provided from the athletic training standpoint, I believe that the Chiefs have been experiencing low levels of normative commitment. In Chapter 3's lecture videos, normative commitment is defined as a desire on the part of an employee to remain a member of the organization because of a feeling of obligation, meaning that employees who stay because of a sense of normative commitment stay because they feel like they should and owe the organization something. They could even feel guilty if they were to leave. If the Chiefs feel as if ownership is not taking care of them, why would they be inclined to take care of ownership's interests or re-sign with the team? Another way to evaluate the situation would be to ask if the players feel an organization is putting them at risk to injury and preventing them from performing their job. Despite the overwhelming low grades ownership in the Chiefs organization received for their treatment of players, I believe the Kansas City Chiefs show significantly high levels of organizational commitment in the form of effective commitment. In Chapter 3's lecture videos, Dr. Brink defined effective commitment as a desire or the part of an employee to remain a member of their organization because of an emotional attachment to and involvement with that organization, which more simply put would be the reason an employee stays with the company is because they want to. Employees with effective commitment often enjoy what they do and experience a sense of purpose. The first reason I believe that there are high levels of effective commitment in the Chiefs because they win. Winning is fun and it almost seems foolish for a player to leave a team that will make a run for the Super Bowl every year. The second reason is because at the end of the day, these players are still in the NFL and they receive better treatment than 99% of people in the workplace. I would also go as far as to say they're having fun because they're getting to live out their dreams. The third reason I feel the Chiefs have a high level of effective commitment is due to one of, if not the most important drivers of organizational commitment in the organization, the head coach, Andy Reid. Drivers of organizational commitment are people and things that employees have that drive their organizational commitment and influence all 3 types. The drivers for an employee can be the organization itself, top management, a specific department, a manager, an employee's work team, or even specific co-workers. For a manager, understanding their employees' organizational commitment, where it lies, and in what form is crucial in effectively strategizing ways to increase organizational commitment individually and as a whole. I feel that if Andy Reid did not do this, despite ownership stacking the odds against the team, Andy Reid would not have been able to steer the ship in the right direction and invest in his players. I also feel that the Kansas City Chiefs have high levels of organizational commitment, not just because Andy Reid is a great leader and a significant driver of organizational commitment, but because the star players or even star employees, which are high task performers and have high levels of organizational commitment, take action and lead the way to overcome. A great example of this star player or star employee is Patrick Mahomes. His teammates give great reports on him as a person. He takes care of Kansas City, and he's very good at football. If he can embrace the suck, it is easier for his teammates to as well. I feel that Kansas City has done well building a player culture that weeds out guys who are lone wolves. An employee who expresses high task performance but low organizational commitment. An example of this would be Tyreek Hill. He was focused on becoming the star of the show, and it eventually forced him out of Kansas City into Miami, where he received a ton of money but no Super Bowl. After reading through this article, I found that NFLPA has done its job in providing a voice for its players and holding owners accountable for the way they treat players. I believe that as owners continue to read how fans dislike the way they treat the players, they will begin to upgrade facilities to not only please fans and current players, but also to attract new ones. I've also discovered that after reading this article and comparing organizational commitment and the elements and factors that contribute to individual and whole group commitment, I believe that the Kansas City Chiefs display high levels of effective commitment that is driven by their head coach Andy Reid and their star player Patrick Mahomes. I believe that the team is struggling to trust and back the ownership because of broken promises made. This has led to low levels of normative commitment. If issues are brought up by the players in this year's NFLPA, I feel that success will not be easy to come by. I also believe that since Andy Reid will be entering retirement soon, it will be up to Clark Hunt to earn back the respect and trust of the players to maintain high levels of organizational commitment.